theme song. It started when our podcast was uploaded on YouTube. I need a second verse, please tell me what rhymes with YouTube. But there's only one podcast that gives you your mental fixes, AlieNation. Welcome back to the worst podcast you've ever listened to. This is the AlieNation pod, where your host, Maine, discuss all things Ben 10 all the time. Yes, I am sticking to that theme, by the way. I don't have any other theme, so that's the theme. This week, I actually have a couple bits of news, but unlike before, usually I do news and then topic and then I finish it off with reviews. But since last week's episode was so review heavy, I'll review the episode The Hex Factor, get into the news, and then review Destroy Our Aliens. And yeah, let's get into it. Alright, so the Hex Factor is the 34th episode of season 4 of Benson Reboot. And the plot is when Hex mistakes an exclusive magic club for a top secret wizard society that snubbed him. Ben has to figure out how to work around the club's strict code to stop him without getting booted by security. Like I said, in my last episode, me reviewing like episodes is just gonna be like, I like that part or whatever, but I just have a few things that I wrote down. Um, Usually when, let's say, they have been in like a different outfit, let's say like in the episode Poles Apart, they had him. You usually see like him with a coat or a jacket on, and like the sleeve of that kind of like tucked underneath the Omnitrix. And sometimes I think I saw it over like all the way under it. I don't know if that's true. I just for some reason I feel like that's happened before. But in this episode, he's wearing like a suit and tuxedo, and you see the sleeve cover it, and like the appearance, like the bulge of the Omnitrix underneath the sleeve. So I thought that was really nice that they actually did that. Another thing that I put down was the Hex flashback. I just thought it was pretty funny. Just like he always gets out just by like portaling out. Like he can just leave whenever he wants. Also a nice little uh, cameo from Steve Smythe. So Ben suspects Hex is up to something when he's just trying to make his way through, like make his way up the ranks of this magic club. The shock rock physics, like, so Ben is trying to. He's been kicked out of the club and he's trying to get back in. So he turns into shock rock and creates a ladder for Gwen so she can climb out the ladder and he can show her something. So at first, like, I'm really glad that they acknowledged this, because shock rock is just mostly plasma, and so are his constructs. So she hesitates to like climb down this ladder that he created. And she's like, should I even be touching that? And I'm glad they acknowledged that, because I'm pretty sure like the first episode Shakarok was introduced, like they high-fived, and I thought that like he just shock her. Like her hand will be vaporized pretty much. So I'm good they acknowledged that. Another good transformation. I really like the animation of the transformation. He turns into Heat Blast, who then turns into his Omnikix form. And then after that, I kind of just stopped taking notes and enjoyed the episode. It was pretty good. Yeah, like I said before, don't really have a problem with any of these episodes, really. Just, yeah. So we're gonna get into the news now. So there's a new Ben 10 novel coming out, called Creature from the Serenity Shore, written by C.B. Lee and illustrated by Mattia De Mayo. So this isn't like his first Ben 10 book. He did For Science, The Truth Is Out There, and The Manchester Mystery. I've read a couple pages of The Truth Is Out There. Like, I got it from the library, but of course, like, my procrastination kicked in, so I'm like, I'll finish this later, which I didn't. But at the time by the time I like picked it up again, I had to return it, so I'm gonna have to go back and read them. And he also did one called Mecha Madness, and the art of these are really good. So this is from SimonandSchuster.com. It says Ben, Gwen, and Grandpa head to a beautiful seaside resort for some much-needed relaxation, but they'll need to use all their abilities to what the heck was my brain just stopped working. But they'll need to use all their abilities to defeat the Sharktopus. Again, C.B. Lee, the writer, stated that this is my second time on a Ben 10 adventure, and I'm so glad of it. Drawing monsters and aliens is never boring, and I really love the Tennyson family. In this story, we have the sea, summer, friends, tentacles, fangs, and aliens, of course. It was amazing to draw, and working again with the team made up of C.B. Lee as writer. Oh, this is DeMeo for saying this. C.B. Lee as writer and Eleonora Bruni as colorist was the icing on the cake. The editor of Matthew Levine, editor of Boom Studios, told, well, yeah, Boom. This is Boom Studios website. They says sunny skies, hot sand, and a rampaging sea creature make for a typical beach day with Ben and his monster-fighting family. So of course we're excited to have writer C.B. Lee and artist DeMeo back for the seaside adventure that's got Ben, Gwen, and Grandpa Max facing the tsunami of trouble just in time for summer vacation. They've done a lot of graphic novels. They've done Adventure Time, Over the Garden Raw, Steven Universe. I think I saw somewhere they did like a regular show one. So this comes out this July. I don't know. Um, I don't know about a specific date. Yeah, it just says July 2020. So you can look out for that. I'll definitely have to. I don't know if these are all like have a ongoing story narrative, but I really do want to go back and read the others. The art alone is just really good. Now, turns out there is a new Ben 10 video game coming out this fall. This is from comicbook.com. Cartoon Network and publisher Outright Games announced a new Ben 10 video game for consoles and PC, developed by Pietro Collective. The brand new game is set to launch fall 2020, but there's no like definitive release date. So I looked up Outright Games and just to see what other games that they've done. Jumanji the video game, Dragons Dawn of New Riders, Adventure Time, Pirates of the Caribbean. All three games that I've seen some gameplay of and I've heard are really good. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I played a little bit of the game that came out in 2016. I got it last year and I'm not up to the Queen Bee boss fight, but I'm like at that level where you're making your way up to her. It's pretty fun. Actually, my favorite Ben 10 video game will always be Ben 10 Omniverse. I played Vilgax Attacks some time ago. I finished that. Protector of Earth I had on the DS Lite. Also had was it called Galactic Racers? But that Ben 10 the racing basically Mario Kart. It was Ben 10 Mario Kart. I played a little bit of the Rise of Hex. I honestly can't since then I can't find that game anywhere. That was years ago that I played that game. I can't find it. I played it on 360. It was a demo. I played it once, and then after that, it was it was gone. Like I couldn't. It disappeared from existence, and I forgot it was a thing. And then I remembered it, and I looked it up. But yeah, turns out it is a thing. Obviously, because if it wasn't, I wouldn't be talking about it. But I do wanna go back and play these games. Maybe I'll record the gameplay, put it up on YouTube. Uh, so they say here that we are thrilled to be working with Cartoon Network again to create a brand new Ben 10 game. Uh, said Terry Melham, CEO of Alright Games. Returning to the world of Ben 10 is something we've been keen to do for a while. The response from fans has been incredibly positive, and we're so glad to work with Cartoon Network and continue to develop this ongoing partnership. As far as like wants for this game, uh, I want to see Shockrock and see how he plays, like his style, his moves and stuff like that. So yeah, really good year to be a Ben 10 fan. We got a novel, video game, a movie coming out all in the same year, new season. Okay, so now it's time to talk about Destroy All Aliens. So the storyline is, while dealing with the end of summer vacation and a critically damaged Omnitrix, Ben Tennyson finds himself targeted by a mysterious alien bounty hunter. So obviously spoilers. This movie came out in 2012. Um, I remember like the original teaser, like that little short that they played, and I remember being so impressed, like watching it over and over again. I think I was like, where was I? I was at school. I was in seven. I was in seventh grade. I think seventh, eighth grade, and it was lunchtime, and I would just, and I was on the computer, and I saw it, and I just kept watching it over and over again. Number one, I was very impressed by the animation, and I'm still impressed by the animation. I also remember being confused because this was around the time like Alien Force had and Alien the Ultimate Alien had ended, and Omniverse either I think Omniverse had just started or it was going to start. So I was kind of confused like why they were going back to the original series, but I didn't really care. It was more Ben 10, right? I didn't care. So back to the, like I said before, the animation. I really, obviously the animation is the first thing that stands out, but I really liked it. Like you could see the details in like the aliens and the textures of their shirts and their skin. So me being a fan of animation and being a fan of Ben 10, I like the I like the flaws, and I like animation error. So, well, there's one big animation error, and then there's like one you like kind of blink and you miss it that I found during the dream sequence. There's a shot where Ben's riding on his hoverboard through the streets, and the animal chick's sitting on his arm for like a few seconds, and then it cuts and it's there again. And then the other error is basically, well, the obvious one, way big. It's not 10-year-old way big. It's 15-year-old way big. But I think that's more like a they they either had the model of I don't know. I don't know if they would have a. They probably I don't know. Already probably already had a model of way big, Maybe, I don't know. So Tetrax, in the early version of the movie, Tetrax contacted Ben because he wanted Ben to take part in a training program in outer space. In that version of the movie, had Gwen handling crime around Bellwood without Ben, and because JT and Cash bullied Ben, he that would influence him to run away from home, meet up with Tetrax, and then they'd leave. Throughout the franchise, Tetrax has he's a character who's come and gone. He was in Secret of the Omnitrix. He was in The Secret of Chromastone in Alien Force. He wasn't in Ultimate Alien. He was obviously in the original series. In an Omniverse, it was Dimension 23 version of him. But I always wanted to see like more of a mentor figure for Ben. Well, Max was that mentor figure, but I would have liked Ben having a human mentor figure and an alien mentor figure to like balance out both those sides of himself. One being Max, who helps him understand how to control this alien technology through like the plumbers and stuff, and then Tetrax helping Ben understand himself through the different alien forms that he has. So Tetrax activates a function on the Omnitrix, which is basically just like the randomizer function. I think it's the randomizer function. I mean, it it acts like the randomizer function, so I'm just gonna assume that it's the randomizer function. They're attacked by the Retaliator, aka the Galvanic Mechamorph, aka Asma's father. So the Galvanic Mechamorph suit can teleport. So I'm just wondering, can all Galvanic Mechamorphs do that? And we just haven't seen it before? Or is it just like a thing that this suit can do? Also, how does that suit work? Because I know it's alien technology and whatever, but it forms around the user's body and it basically turns them into a galvanic mechamorph. But is Asmith or Asmith's father, are they like inside a control station in the suit? Or maybe I'm thinking too much about this. I don't know. I just want to know how it works. I put down amazing fight scenes. All the fight scenes are really good. The one in Bellwood, the one at Stonehenge. Speaking of Stonehenge, and also the one in Egypt. I like that they said that Stonehenge was I think they call it a Galvin practical joke, or in that the pyramids were made by Tetramans. Just, little bits of lore and history in the universe. And we also get a lot of like knowledge about the Toku stars. Like the frill at the top of their head is their weak spot. I think this is the first time like the word Toku star is said. Correct me if I'm wrong. So Gwen finds out that her dismantling spell is what made the Omnitrix glitch out and cause to upload all these different things at random. So they all get. So she uses the spell again, and Tetrax, Ben, Asma's father, and herself get zapped inside the Omnitrix. And I really liked this version of like the inside the Omnitrix, that it's the different environments that each alien is from. I like the simulation inside the Omnitrix in the reboot as well. How it's like all the DNA pods and chambers around. But I really thought it was like super creative to have the environments and the aliens within those environments inside the Omnitrix. We get a little bit of Ben and Gwen's relationship developing. So Asmon's father's backstory. So yeah, Asmon left Government Prime to collect the DNA samples of the Omnitrix. At least that's what I got from his backstory. And then his father just hadn't had seen him. And then when Asmon got back, um, he didn't want his son to leave again. But of course, he did have to leave. And then, after thinking that he was dead, he went back. He traveled to Earth to avenge his son's apparent death. I think I explained that well enough. So, also, I put soundtrack. What I really wish would happen is that Cartoon Network should release a lot more of their show soundtracks. The soundtrack in this movie is really good, especially like the main theme and like the end credits or whatever. Um, the fights, the Benton soundtrack from each series is just really good, especially Omniverse. Below that I put Bellwood Destroyed, which it is from just like the Tokustar fight. Like that's on like Man of Steel level of destruction. Like buildings were being punched, kicked, thrown. Tokustas were thrown into them. Like it was crazy. But yeah. Last thing I have on here is that this is canon. And, like I don't see. I mean, I see why people don't consider it canon because I mean, well, number one, Asma's father is no. This is his only appearance. This is his first and last appearance, unless like there's like a scene in the other series where like he's just in the background or somewhere. But yeah, this is canon. But again, like non-canon, canon, I don't really think it matters. Just like as long as there's a story and you like it, it doesn't matter. Of course, but there's the exception of comic books and different universes and stuff like that. But if you can find a way to like have it make sense and fit in the timeline, then I don't see why it can't be. Okay, so I don't have a theme for this yet, but um now it's time for the alien of the week. So this week's alien of the week is my favorite alien throughout the entire franchise. That alien is Wild Mutt. Maybe it's like the animalistic or like ape-like movements, or the fact that he's voiced by D. Bradley Baker, or like my love for animals in general. But like Wild Mutt is he's so different from like any other aliens in the franchise. He speaks in his own language that the Omnitrix can't even decipher. Like besides like Spitter, Ripjaws, or Eye Guy, he's the only one of the aliens who like genuinely looks like an alien. Um, I always thought like he deserved more attention than he's gotten. Number one, the quills he has, he can shoot like projectiles, but like that's just it's been said, but it's never been done before. Like, and I've always wanted to see that being demonstrated either by Wildmont or like another Wolfmancer, but it's just never happened. Maybe like it's an ability Ben didn't know he had, or maybe much older Wolfmancers have that skill, or maybe just the writers forgot about it as a whole. Like one day, hopefully, like season 5 of the reboot or further on the show, I want to see Wildmont again and discover what they do with that alien. Like besides the original show, it's gotten pretty difficult to have every alien have their moment since like at the end of Omniverse, Ben had like about 70 plus aliens to choose from, but they did a good job balancing out that even when they had that many transformations. But with the new show, with the Omnitrix only allowing 10 aliens to be loaded into the chamber, that's an equal opportunity for each alien to have their moment in the spotlight. So I just want Wildmut. They reference him in season 1 in the I think it was a swap meet episode. Um, so yeah, I just need some Wildmut in my life. So powers and abilities include enhanced strength, durability, dexterity, agility, smelling, hearing, digging speed, jumping, reflexes, quadrupedalism, bipedalism, so he can walk on both four and two legs, sharp teeth, sharp claws, prehensile feet, wall climbing, sightless sensing, and, like I said before, full projection. Wildmutt's name in the Croatian version of the cartoon, Psina, 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 means great dog, but the word is sometimes used as several sharks, specifically the great white shark, which sometimes cause naming confusion between him and Ripjaws. So there you have it, episode 3 of the AlieNation podcast. I told you this episode would be better than last. So yeah, thank you for listening or watching the video. Next time I'll probably be reviewing Alien Swarm. So, but yeah, thanks for listening / watching. Yeah, and I'll see you when I see you.